On the edge of Blackwood Forest, where the trees grew thick enough to block out the sun, stood a mansion swallowed by shadows. Locals called it the Whispering Mansion, for the strange sounds that drifted from its rotting halls when the wind swept through the forest. Few dared to go near, for the house was said to be cursed, its history wrapped in tragedy. Decades ago, it belonged to the Mortcroft family, a lineage known for wealth, extravagance, and secrets. One stormy autumn night, the family simply vanished. Dinner was still laid on the long oak table, candles melted to stubs, servants, guests, even the children, all gone. No bodies, no sign of departure. The mansion was abandoned overnight, left as it was, as if time had frozen. Over the years, the mansion decayed, yet some things remained disturbingly intact. Neighbors swore they saw light flickering in the upper windows, though the house had no power. Hunters spoke of hearing music, an old piano tune drifting through the forest, mournful and slow. Some claimed they saw a figure, pale and silent, staring from the balcony before vanishing into mist. Curiosity grew into legend. Teenagers dared each other to sneak inside. Most returned pale, shaken, speaking of cold drafts that whispered their names, of footsteps echoing down empty corridors. Some described portraits on the walls whose painted eyes followed them, or mirrors that reflected not their faces, but strangers standing behind them. A few who entered after midnight never spoke of what they saw, retreating into silence, as if the mansion had stolen part of them. One autumn, a group of travelers decided to uncover the truth. Armed with lanterns and stubborn courage, they forced open the rusted gates and stepped inside. The air was thick with mold and something colder, something unseen. In the grand foyer, a chandelier hung like a carcass of glass and bone, yet when their light touched it, the crystals shone briefly as if polished only moments ago. As they explored, they found rooms untouched by time, a library lined with books whose pages whispered when opened, a nursery with toys arranged neatly in a circle, and a dining room where the long table was still set, cutlery gleaming beneath layers of dust. In the great hall stood a piano, its keys yellowed, yet it began to play softly on its own, a sorrowful lullaby that made their skin crawl. The deeper they ventured, the more the house seemed to breathe around them. Whispers floated down the halls, laughter rang faintly from behind closed doors, and the temperature plummeted with each step. In the master bedroom, they found the final horror, a cracked mirror, its surface dark as water. One by one, their reflections failed to move in time with them. Instead, the mirrors showed twisted versions of themselves, grinning with hollow eyes. Panic surged. They fled, stumbling through corridors that seemed to shift and stretch. Doors slammed shut on their own. The last thing they remembered was the sound of children's laughter, sharp and echoing, before they burst through the front door and into the forest night. They never returned to the mansion. Their story spread through the village, another thread woven into the legend. To this day, the Whispering Mansion stands hidden in the forest, waiting. Sometimes, on stormy nights, the faint notes of piano music drift through the trees, carrying a warning for those who dare to listen. For the mansion is not empty. It is waiting. Always waiting.